Hello everybody, this is Shard Creates. My name is Shardine and welcome to the Creative Podcast. This is the last video of 2020 and I can quite literally say, thank God, this year is coming to an end. I'm literally filming this on the 31st of December. I've kind of left it a bit late, so hopefully I can actually get this out on time. My internet has been very on and off for the past couple of days, so fingers crossed that I can get this out to you today. If not today, then tomorrow. So I'm going to be a bit late, but I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm going to show you what I've been working on this month and talk a bit about the plans for the channel going forward in 2021 and things that I kind of want to do. So let's just get straight into it. Firstly, I have a finish. This was a very quick make. I kind of just was like taking a break from doing some other stuff and want something really quick to do, and I saw this tutorial on YouTube. It was either YouTube or Pinterest about like the bubbles, you know, those fluffy hat bubbles that you can like attach them and then do it in a way you can take them off so you can wash the hat. So I had some yarn in my stash. I can't remember what the yarn is called. And I had the yarn band somewhere, but I can't find it. And this has somehow gone inside out. That's not good. I made this hat. It's a stone washed yarn. If I find the band label, I'll put it in the description because I don't know where it is right now. But I just made a simple ribbed hat. I bought these. Is it faux? Fake fur pom-poms, and I attached it at the top here, and on the inside, although I need bigger buttons to do this really, or just get better at seaming, on the inside there's like a little button there, and you attach the pom-pom has like a elastic bit at the end of it. You just put the elastic through the top of the hat and then attach it to a button that you sewed on the inside of the hat, and then you can take off the pom-pom whenever you want and put the hat in the wash and then reattach it. So I'm gonna do this again, try it again, try and get my seaming of the top of the hat a bit better, maybe buy some bigger buttons to make this work a bit more. But I think as a first try I've done pretty well. So it is just a basic pattern. This pattern though, it's all half double crochet except for like the last 10 stitches I think are single crochet. So it's back loop only, half double crochet all the way here, and then the last about 10 stitches or so are back loop single crochet. So it kind of like goes like that ish when it's flat, and then it kind of like has that, like it kind of like goes in a lot better when you seam it together. So I quite like this pattern. I'm definitely going to do one of these again. This one I kind of like was like guessing the length for like a woman's hat, and this is like a standard, I think, woman's size hat, but I don't have a standard woman's size head. This hat is quite big on me. I'm quite a small person, so maybe like a large child size or small woman's adult size would fit my head better, but it is really soft and comfy and warm. I did wear it yesterday. I wish I had more of this yarn so I could have made a matching scarf, but it was what was in my stash. So yeah, I really like this. I'll link the video to the pattern I followed below, but you could just use half double crochet to make this in the back loops, and it's really easy. There's plenty of tutorials about how to make these basic ribbed hats on YouTube and the internet. So that's the cable hat. It is cables, isn't it? Not cables, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. But yeah, that's a finish, and that took, I think I did that over 2 or 3 days, just on and off when I had time and felt like doing it. So there's that. Number 2, this is kind of finished, but I'm going to add to it once I order some yarn. I ordered a yarn pack from Lovecraft. It was a Bello Cocoa yarn pack. It was like a brown gradient pack of 5 different colors. So I made some mosaic granny squares, which I posted on my Instagram, and I thought, can I turn this into a cardigan or jumper? So I decided to turn it into a cardigan. I really had to make do with the yarn that I had because 5 balls was not enough, and I kind of had to fiddle about and work out how I was going to use up all the yarn without being wasteful, and I managed to do that. But I definitely want to add longer sleeves to it, so I'm going to order more yarn and give it a proper finish. So here we are. I made 9 of these mosaic granny squares. They do take a bit of time, but I love the effect that they have. That's the back. And then the front, I just used the leftovers of the colours just to do the front of the cardigan, so it still has that gradient. And then I used the cream to just go around the edge here, so it's got like an edging to it. Oh, I've got a bit of yarn sticking out there. And then I used a bit of the brown at the bottom to finish it. It's not the neatest work I've ever done, but for a trial, I think it's not too bad. Now, it doesn't have any sleeves. I haven't done this. I'm going to add. So I'm going to order more of this dark brown. I think 2 balls will probably be enough, and just add long sleeves to it. So quite an oversized cardigan. It is, but it isn't. I'm a bit of a big girl, but it fits quite well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna add some sleeves to this and finish it. One of my friends, Sarah, she was like, "You should release that as a pattern." I was like, maybe I could. So maybe in the future, sometime once I make the make it more exact and precise and make it look how I want to make it look and neaten it up, I might try and release it as a pattern. I've never done anything like that before, so I think I'm going to wait for some workbooks to come out, which will hopefully be coming out next year, before I attempt it, because I know making and writing a pattern isn't really easy, so I want to make sure I get it right for my first try. So yeah. And the way I joined these squares was actually a bit tedious. I did a join as you go, continuous join as you go method, which was very long to do, and if you've got good, you really need good eyes to see where your stitches are, because I went around the squares in single crochet, so trying to find the corners to join them was a bit difficult. But I liked the way that I did it because the seams are so flat. Don't know how well you can see that, but the seams are so flat where the join is, and it looks so nice and seamless pretty much. So yeah, I love how it looks. It's just a bit tedious to do, but you can see the squares up close. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 colors in there for each square, and the colors I don't know if the colors have names. They might do, but I used, what's it called, paint box yarns and DK weight, double knit weight. I think that's the same as worsted, but I get those terms a bit mixed up. So it's double knit weight, and I used a 4mm hook throughout this. So that's my cardigan. Maybe one day you'll see this as a written pattern. We'll see. So right now that's the finish. Once I add, and all the ends are sewed in and everything, so I'll add the sleeves to it, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So that will be something I'll work on in the new year. Next up is a jumper. but I was making for my sister for Christmas. If you're not in the UK, you probably don't know this, but certain parts of the UK went into tier 4. Initially, there's only 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 3 was the highest. And then they made it tier 4, which is now the new highest. And quite a few places in the UK, including London, where I live, it got moved up to tier 4. So if you live in tier 4, you can't leave tier 4. No one can come into tier 4. Basically, it's just a bit of a mess, really. So my sister couldn't come down to London for Christmas, so we weren't able to see each other because I was going to socially distance and get this gift to her, to like put it in the car, be socially distanced and whatnot. So as I couldn't get the present to her this year, I kind of was like, okay, she can't get the present, I won't seam this together. But I've made all the parts of her jumper. It just needs to be seamed together. So this is the Gotta Have It cable jumper. I have shown my version of this jumper on the channel before. Mine is in a brown colour. I'll insert a picture of what mine looks like. And her one is in grey. So this is the front panel. And this is the back panel. Oh no, it's not. This is the back panel. And then there's 2 sleeves. So all the parts are done, it just needs to be sewn together, which isn't too difficult, so I'll make sure to get that done sooner rather than later. I'm probably going to try and actually just send it out to her in Manchester, where she lives. I'll send it to her in the post. I didn't want to send it straight away because of the postal issues over Christmas. Is always a pain in the butt, and I know there's been issues with Royal Mail deliveries and people not receiving things that that's been sent out to them. I know my sister was sent something in the mail, and up to now she's not received it, and it was sent way before. It was sent for our birthday in November, I think, and she didn't receive it, and she still hasn't received it. So I'm gonna wait a while before I send things out to her. Wait till things settle down a bit in terms of posting stuff. So that's on the list of things to do this year. Probably in January, I think I'll just get that. I've got a bit of dust in my hair. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure this month I'll get it seamed together and then sort out trying to post it to her. So that's the Gotta Have It cable jumper. This is in Aran weight. Oh, the yarn. I should know the yarn by this point because I use it all the time. But I am having memory lapses this month. I do have the label here. Yes, it's Hayfield, my favourite. Hayfield Bonus Aran with 20% more. I love this yarn, it's so nice. And the colour is Finchdale. So yeah, 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and it's a 400 gram ball as well. So it does use up about 500 grams or so, maybe 600. And I've still got this much left. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I've still got my brown. No, I don't actually. But whenever I make any projects with this yarn, I always have like about this much left, and I keep them for when I decide that I want to use them for another project. So that's another ball to add to my stash. So that's that. I haven't worked on this project for a while. I put like 1 or 2 rows in this next one, and that's it. So I'm definitely going to pick it up again. This is the fabled Starcraft Special DK Ultimate Blanket thing, and I haven't shown this on the channel for a while because I haven't worked on it. I've been doing other stuff. So if you don't know, I haven't been on this channel for very long. I am using every single colour of Starcraft Special DK to make this blanket. I'm using a 4mm hook and the V-stitch. And this is inspired by Ophelia Talks her Stylecraft blanket that she made using colours from a stash. I'm not using stash, I'm just buying every single colour and putting it into the blanket, and then whatever's left will go into another project, so at least I'll have plenty of colours to work with in the future. But I'm not that far in. I'm not that far in at all, and it's already pretty long, so I was talking to a friend about this, and I might have to do this in two. So split the colours in half, and then one big one, and maybe sew it together. Just make two blankets. I don't know. I should have thought this through. I should have used less rows. I should have made it longer. But I didn't know how big it was going to turn out when I started. I thought it wasn't going to be this long, and there's like 80 colours. 80 odd colours, so we'll see. So I'm definitely going to put some more time into this blanket this year. I don't know how much, but it definitely won't be finished, that's for sure. There's going to be plenty of stuff to do this year. I can feel it in my bones. So that's the ultimate blanket there. I haven't really been working on blankets much this year, which is a surprise, but that's all going to change. Another project that I've been working on the side is a project bag. Now I have made one project bag, crochet project bag. It's not lined or anything, but I do use it to put in my cross stitch projects in. So I've decided to make another one. I've used the leftovers from the, what is it called? The Aria blanket by Attic 24. I did mine as a striped version because I didn't want to do squares, but I used some of the leftovers from that blanket pack for my project bag. So these are the colours that I picked out. So I picked out greens, blues, purples, and then like a boysenberry purple pinky colour here to make these squares. So this is going to be a 4x4 because that's as much as I had enough for. I wanted to do it, I should have done it 5x3 really, but 4x4 is fine, that's fine. So I've made one panel so far, and as you can see, I haven't sewed the ends in yet. And I've got the other 4x4 laid out on my sofa here, and I haven't sewed that in together yet. So I've just used the Stylecraft colours that were left over, and I've had a grey ball of yarn from Hobbycraft, the Women's Institute yarn. I had a ball of grey, so I'm joining it all together in that grey yarn. And once the other panel's done, I am actually thinking about lining it. Now I keep saying that I'm going to line this, I'm going to line that, but my issue is at the moment is that I can't find my sewing box where I would keep my threads and stuff in. I can't sew at all really. My experience is very limited, but I do have a sewing machine and I do want to learn, so if I can find that box I can actually start sewing, because my threads are in there and I don't want to spend any more money unnecessarily to buy the little plastic bubble things that go into the machine and the yarn to put on top and everything. And like, I don't want to spend more money than necessary when I know I have the bits I need for it. So once I find it, I'm going to try and find some fabric that's big enough and work out how to do it. I don't know if I'm supposed to just do like sew two pieces of fabric together on each one and then sew it together. I'm not 100% sure. So when I get to it, I'll just YouTube it, because YouTube has all the information that I need for all my learning needs. So that's a work in progress right now. I just need to sew the other panel together and then sew in the end, and that will be partially finished. So there's that. And for this I'm using a 3.5mm hook. There's no pattern. I'm just making two panels and sewing them together, and then I'll add a zip at the end. There's that. And then lastly, a project I've been working on in my own time, that I am designing, so to speak. I bought some yarn, and it's sheep. I don't know how to say this word, but I'm going to say sheepies, because That's the easiest way for me to say it, and if I try and say it properly, I'll probably butcher it. But this is Sheepy's, I think it's Color Soft yarn. It's a DK weight. I don't have the yarn bands for it because I've used up quite a lot of the yarn already, but I'm designing like an oversized jumper in granny squares just to see if I could do it. I've been looking at like oversized jumper patterns on YouTube and Pinterest and stuff, just searching around to see what's out there. I have found a cable oversized jumper pattern that I want to make, which I might do this year just because it looks cool and it's got cables and I love some cables, so that'll probably be a pattern I'll work on in the future. But I thought, I've got this yarn, let me try and design an oversized jumper now. Initially I wanted it to be quite long, but I bought like 4 balls of the main colour and 1 ball of an extra colour just to see how much I could get out of it. I typically like to buy 5 balls at a time and then work with what I've got. And I realised that I wouldn't have enough to do a front panel and a back panel and possibly sleeves all in granny squares. So I made sure I had enough squares to do the front and back. I'm still undecided on how I'm doing sleeves though, so I'll come to it when I come to it. But I've done the front panel already. I'm using like an orange and a blue, because when I had this pictured in my mind, I was thinking this will look nice with like a nice dark blue pair of jeans. That's the kind of idea I was going for, and like some boots or something. So I've got the front panel. It's a 6 by 5. I did want it to be at like a 6 by 8, but just didn't have enough blue for it, so it's gonna be a bit more cropped, but I will probably put some like edging on it at the bottom or something. So I've got 1 panel done so far, so not a lot, but I am sewing in the ends. I'm being good. I've left this one end, so I know that's the top of the square. So this is just something I'm doing on the side. It's not like a major project to work. It's not something that I need to finish straight away. I'm just picking it up when I feel like it. And I'm enjoying it because I'm using a bigger hook. I'm using a 4.5mm hook, so it works a bit quicker. And I've just been cracking away at it. I've got all the granny squares. I've done all the blue squares for the back panel. The third row, so I've got 2 squares of blue, 2 rounds of blue, and then the third row of orange. So I do the third round of orange, and then I do a continuous drawing as you go in orange. So I basically use 2 balls at a time to get this done, and I just add as I go along, sew in the ends, and then join them together. So we'll see how that comes together over the next month or 2, maybe a bit longer. But I think that most of these projects that I've shown you so far might get put to the side a little bit depending on the last thing that I'm going to show you. So when I started my channel, I believe I was probably still working on this project at the time, and it was the Dahlia blanket, the cow by Lucy at 24. I can't remember if I was still working on it when I started the channel. I might have done. I can't remember, and I definitely did show it. So I wasn't initially going to join the cow at the beginning of 2021 this year, but I saw the pictures of the blanket, like the sneak peek preview, and like the colours and stuff on her blog, and I was like, I really enjoyed doing the Dahlia cow last year. It was fun, and I managed to keep up with it pretty much, except for the border. And I had so much fun with it, so I thought, let me join this cow again. It means I'll have a nice, lovely blanket to work on throughout the next few months. And Lucy makes such great patterns, and they're so fun to do, and it's easy for me to get the yarn pack. So I ordered the yarn pack. This is the Meadow Blanket by Lucy at 24. The cow does not start until the 8th of January, I believe. So if you want to take part in the cow this year, you can order the yarn packs from Wool Warehouse. That's where I got mine from. And delivery from Wool Warehouse is pretty good, even to the US, from the comments and posts that I see. Some people manage to get it from them like within the week, like in a couple of days or so. So that's the colours for the pack. There's some colours in here I think that I've never worked with before, like this lemony colour. Don't know if I worked with this like purpley colour down here. Don't know about this green. I think I've done that yellow. I think this is like eggshell. I think there's like a mushroom there. I mean, once I get through my ultimate Starcraft blanket, I will use every single colour under the sun. So, but I'm not sure what the type of stitch is yet. So it looks like it's going to be really basic stitch from looking at the picture. But I'm looking forward to starting on another cow. It'll give me something to focus on and just work towards. And because it's a week, is it weekly or bi-weekly? I think she releases a new part each week. So it kind of gives you like a goal to work towards if you want to keep up with it. You don't have to keep up with it. You can take as much time as you need to get through it, which I like. But I like to challenge myself and make sure that but by the end of the week and the start of the next part, I'm all caught up. So I have no idea which version I'm going to do yet. The Dahlia blanket I did as colour wash. I've got another blanket. I think I did the June striped version as a colour wash as well. I do really like colour wash versions of blankets. I did start the June blanket that I've got here, but I'm doing it as like a continuous, I do it each colour in order, and then it's like a repeating stripe version. So I don't know how I'm going to do the Meadow blanket yet. I might do it as a repeating stripe. If she does do a colour wash version, I'm hoping to see what it looks like on the blog if she does post a picture of it. But yeah, I've got some time to figure out how I'm going to do it. So I'm looking forward to it. And I don't have any other blanket projects to work on as far as I know. Actually, that's a lie. But kind of leads on to plans a bit. So 2021, I do have some things that I'm going to be working on. The start of 2021 is obviously going to be the Meadow blanket with the cow. I have some projects that I've been meaning to make for family members for years now that I kept saying I was going to do and I didn't do them. So I'm going to contact my family and make sure that they still want them. And if they say yes, I'm going to work on them beginning half of this year. So I know there's some cushions that I started making and never finished. And a blanket that I was asked to make. So they are going to have to take some priority this year, preferably in the first quarter or half of this year. So those are the main things that I'm going to be working on this year. I'm going to try and focus and knuckle down and get them done, because I know I start a lot of things and then I don't finish them, and I really kick myself in the teeth for doing it all the time. But I guess I get easily bored of doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm really trying to push myself to focus on getting things done this year. On top of that, I want to learn how to be a tech editor. So that's going to be a goal this year. I want to learn how to tech edit, and when people send off their crochet designs, they send them to a tech editor to be checked over for spelling and mistakes, and like checking gauge and making sure that the maths is correct and stuff like that. So that's something I would like to learn how to do this year as well. So that's also number one on my list of things I want to get done this year. So hopefully 2021 I will get a lot of things finished this year. I want to complete as many things as possible, and experiment with new yarn. I love Starcraft. Starcraft is my favorite yarn. It's easily accessible for me. I know that not everyone likes to work with acrylic yarn because it's not because it's plastic. But for me, the stuff that I make tends to be long lasting. Like the blankets, they'll last a long time. I want them to last a long time. The jumpers, I don't expect them to be thrown in the bin after like a month or so. I expect them to last a long time, but I do want to experiment with different types of yarn, like in terms of thicknesses, like chunky and chunky. I can't remember what it's like. Is it extra chunky? Something like that. I want to work with like spring going away. I'm planning to get back into knitting my socks this year, so I want to learn how to knit more stuff. Like I've seen a lot of cows, like knitted cows. I want to try and learn how to do that. I plan on investing on some more knitting needles and getting back into that, because I always see these really nice fabulous yarns. I'm like, I'd love to knit something like that, something with those yarns. So those are like a few broad things that I want to get done in 2021, so I'm going to try my best to do as much as possible. I do plan on doing a bit of a channel rebrand, so to speak. So when I put out my next videos at the end of January, I'm kind of going to split it off into like seasons. So this year, 2020, will be like season 0, because it's kind of been like a tester for me to see how I get on with the channel and like putting videos out and such. So I guess 2021 will kind of be like series 1, and I'll put all the videos together in one playlist, separating the Creative Podcast and the Floss Tube. I'm going to continue to separate them out, and possibly a rebrand of the channel and changing up my thumbnails and stuff like that. But that will have to kind of sit on the back burner a little bit, because I don't really know how I'm going to do that yet. I've got ideas, just don't know how to implement them. So there will be a bit of a rebrand of the channel going forward once I work out how to do that. So that's quite a lot of things for 2021. I'm going to try and not get myself too overwhelmed with all the things I want to do. I'm going to try and take it slow, take it easy, and not pressure myself too much, because I just cause myself a bit too much stress than necessary. So yeah, I guess that's it. This is a long video. I didn't realize I didn't even think I had that much to talk about, but I've been a busy girl. So thank you to everyone who has been sticking with me all throughout this year with my inconsistent uploads and whatnot. I appreciate everyone that's watched my videos and taken the time to comment on my videos and share my videos and stuff like that. It's been really nice to have a community to talk to, especially this year when because I live on my own pretty much, don't really speak to a lot of people, so it's nice to have a community to speak to and talk crochet and cross stitch and just seeing whatever other people are working on. It's been really good. I'm definitely going to try my hardest to continue and have so much stuff to share with you. I've got ideas for the channel and I've got things brewing in the background, so hopefully we'll have lots more content for you this year, some things to talk about and share. So thank you so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, because you know I always read the comments. I always reply to the comments, and share this video with your friends, your family, your mates, and your crafting buddies. So goodbye 2020, hello 2021. Yeah, let's hope 2021 will be a bit better and that we can have more smiles, less frowns, and lots of craftiness. I think it's going to be a very crafty year. I think we're going to get lots done. So thank you everyone for supporting me throughout this year, and I'll see you in 2021. Bye.